Hi, you guys.
Lady D TV presents Conversations for Dummies, where some things you know and some things you learn. Tonight, we're going to learn some things. Stay tuned right here on Lady D TV for Conversations for Dummies, coming up right after this word from our sponsors.
Vegas. Where's the food? Right here at So Sinful Snacks and Treats. Make sure you get down to 4255 Dean Martin Drive, Suite G, and put your order in at So Sinful Snacks and Treats. Try out our new steam bowls or our delicious homestyle barbecue. Either way, you're going to love something at So Sinful Snacks and Treats. Now available on Uber Eats and DoorDash. Order today.
And now, here's Lady D with Conversations for Dummies.
Hello, you guys. This is Lady D, that be me. I hope you guys can hear me out there. I am broadcasting live on Lady D TV, on KEPX Radio, on I'm not Instagram, on Twitter, on on YouTube, on my YouTube page, Lady D That Be Me TV. Welcome to Conversations for Dummies. I am excited to be here tonight. I'm a little bit tired, you guys. I'm a little bit kind of moving kind of slow tonight, so y'all have to bear with me. I do have some irritation in my eyes this evening, so I did not put on my lashes. I like to put my lashes on, but my eyes are irritated tonight, so I couldn't put them on. I said, you know what? I just have to do that next time. But I'm excited to be here tonight. I want to do my shout outs as usual. I have a very special guest in the audience waiting for you guys, and she's got some very interesting story, and I definitely want you guys to hear and see some of the stuff that she's dealing with. But first, I want to give my shout outs. I want to thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys. You know what? I really appreciate you guys because you guys are consistent and you follow and you stay up to date with what I'm doing. And I really appreciate that because y'all could just bypass little old Lady D, that be me, and Conversations for Dummies and go watch something else or be somewhere else or do something else. But you guys do come and you show up, and I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. I want to give my shout outs. I want to shout out to Captain Lamette Wilson, the owner of KEPX Radio. Thank you, Cap, for allowing me to do my thing on KEPX Radio to manage the station and to keep everything running smoothly. Thank you also for being my backup when after I do my show on Morning Motivation, you come right behind me with some great stuff. So thank you for that. We like a tag team. I like that. That's really cool. Thank you so much. Shout out to my girl Flavor out there in Tampa, Florida. She is doing some major things out there in Tampa, Florida, in regards to the political realm. I'm not very politically inclined, but she kind of keeps me on my toes with it, and she's doing some great stuff out there in Tampa, Florida. She's got a campaign that she's doing, We the Boss. And so I'm going to have her on the show too very soon. And she got some great stuff to tell you guys. Shout out to my girl, Miss Diamond, out here in Las Vegas doing her thing. Shout out to my girl, Terry Jean, out in Houston, Texas, who was actually supposed to be my guest on tonight, but she got sick. So we want to keep our prayers up for Terry Jean that she gets better and that everything works out for her. She is so beautiful, and I can't wait to get her on and do her interview. But I'm really excited about the interview tonight because we have been trying to get her on for a couple episodes, and things just didn't work out. She does her thing, I do my thing, and we are family in the filmmaking industry. And I want to say too that she is one of my newest adopted children. I have adopted her. She's my baby. She's my girl. Her and Mo McCoy and Ayana, they my babies. So they family, and I'm so happy to have her on the show tonight. Shout out to Jamion, who is my little mentee. Shout out to him. I don't know if he's on tonight. Shout out to Johnny Dunlap Jr., who is also my top supporter on on Morning Motivation with Lady D. He is right there every morning, pretty much every morning, saying, "I'm here, Lady D. I'm listening. I'm listening." So I thank you. Shout out to you, Johnny Dunlap. I really appreciate you so much. And shout out to Falana Milborn, also of Indoor Entertainment. She is dealing with some stuff. Keep her in prayer, her family in prayer, her mother in prayer, that everything goes according to God's will. So we thank you for her. So, got that out the way. I'm going to do one quick commercial, and then I'm going to be back with Andrea Tyler, and she's going to share some great stuff with you guys. Be right back.
When is the end of COVID 19? Who knows? We're still in the middle of a global pandemic. There's still lots of uncertainty among us. There's no running from it, there's no getting away. So, with that being said, let's continue to practice social distancing. Let's continue to practice good hand washing. Let's continue to teach our children best practices. Let's continue to do our part to fight COVID 19. This has been a public information announcement from Lady D TV and KEPX Radio.
Yes, yes, yes. And don't you guys forget that we are still in a pandemic. I don't care what they say, what the TV says, what the news says. We are still dealing with some stuff. The cases are still going up. People are still getting it. So make sure that you're wearing your mask, you're doing your social distancing, all that stuff that you know you're supposed to do. Keep doing it. Don't stop. Okay. So now, without further ado, my girl Andrea Tyler coming on to Conversations for Dummies. Hey, girlie,
Hello.
how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good. I'm a little tired, like I said, but I'm good. I'm here, and I'm thankful that you are here and that you are good. Um, yeah, so I am really excited to have you here. I didn't tell the people, and you know what? I don't like to share what the story is going to be about when before it comes on because I like it to be a surprise. So they don't know what this story is about tonight. And I don't want to give away too much without before I show the video. I want to show a portion of the video. But what I would like you to do is introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay. Well, hello everybody. My name is Andrea Tyler. I go by the name of Sister at times, but I am part of a mobile production crew, a film production crew called Fireproof TV Films, and we pretty much specialize in any type of media production. I
Awesome,
myself
awesome.
specialize in writing and set design.
Yes, so your specialty is writing, you said, and set design. Yes, yes. So just recently, we had the Mo McCoy Winter Jam,
Yeah,
and you pretty much wrote the script for that because it was a winter jam. It was like a showcase, but it was also a movie at the same time. And you pretty much wrote the whole script for that. Am I correct?
correct. You're right.
Yes. And it was awesome. We had a great time. And he has something coming up, what, next month, right? The tell us a little bit about that. You know more about it than I do.
Which one? I mean, there's
The
always something coming up.
the what is it? The 2022, the New Year Eve celebration.
I personally don't know much information about the New Year's celebration. There is always something going on. When you're in the realm of Mo McCoy, there's always something going on.
I know, and I'm so happy to be a part of the family. It's like you said, always something going on. We got the movie that just came out, the little short with crackhead.
The
Uh,
crackhead on.
my uncle was a crackhead. And then we just did the Lady D TV film with uh, Grandma Says Loves Chris. and then we're trying to do something. What is it? Every week, trying to
Ev-
make a
Every
new
Friday,
every
every Friday,
Friday.
we'll drop content on Fireproof TV on YouTube under
Yes,
the Las Vegas Boulevard title.
yes, 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 yes. So yes, so that's what she does outside of what she's about to share with us. So the what she's about to share with us is very intense. I'm going to tell you, it's very intense, and she's been dealing with it for a little while. And I want to share. I'm going to screen share a little bit of a video that I have of her dealing with um, these seizures. So this show is all about the seizures. And let me find this here. Let's see. Make sure I got it the right one. And that's not the right one. I'm going to get it. I thought I had it up there, but it's a different one. Let's see where'd it go. Come on back here. But anyway, Andrea, tell us a little bit while I'm looking for that. Tell us a little bit about the seizures and how long you have been dealing with the seizures.
Well, I'm 39 now, and if I had to date it back to when my seizures exactly started, then that would be around the age when I was 14. Um, they started a lot lighter than what they are now. They're considered grand mal seizures now. But when they started, they were more or less like fainting spells, and it just seemed like I would have a few of them at a time. But as time has gone on, they've developed to bigger seizures and more, I guess, drastic or harsher than what they were before. But
Okay.
yeah, they started around the time when I was 14, so they've been going on for quite some time now.
Wow. Wow. And tell us, how are you doing right now? How are you coping right now, this moment?
Well, right now I am on medication. Um, Medication that I've been on for about a month and a half now. Since I've been on it, I haven't had any seizures at all. There was a time when the medication ran out and I didn't have a refill, and I did have a seizure after a couple of days. That was pretty bad. But when I have the medication, and since I've been on the medication, everything has been good so far.
Okay, great. And you said it's been like a month and a half since you got the consistent medication and are able to take it consistently.
Yes.
Okay, so all right, so I got the video. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys real quick, and I'm not going to share the whole thing because it's pretty long and pretty intense, like I said, but I want to share some of it with you guys. So give me a moment here. Let's see. Share screen. I always got to go through this every time because I can't never get it right. That's okay. I'll get it right one day. Okay, here we go.
I'm awake, but something strange. Everything's turned red, even in my head.
Okay, so if I had to think back to where my seizures started, they didn't start like not so much as seizures, but more or less like fainting spells. Um, the very first one that I remember is I remember going to the laundry room in the apartment complex with my younger sister, and I was taking laundry out of the washing machine and getting ready to take it to the dryer, and I woke up with my sister standing over me crying, and the clothes were all over the floor. and she was like frantic. My sister's 6 years younger than me, and in I was probably in middle school at the time. So she was pretty small. So to see her older sister faint and fall on a concrete floor and drop everything, and the clothes went flying everywhere. She wanted to tell my mom, but I told her that I was okay and I was awake, so there was nothing to talk about. We didn't need to upset my mom. My mom worked 2 or 3 jobs at the time, so I never wanted to be, the reason or the cause of her stress. Um, it probably extended more into every year at school. I was in ROTC, whatever school I went to, so I was in a lot of different branches of the military. Um, a lot of the training courses. Every year we always had we have a an event at the end of the year where everyone is represented and people's accomplishments are acknowledged and things like that. And for the students, we were basically standing on a football field somewhere in the heat at attention for a very long time. Every single year I fainted. um, the teachers in the school usually was like, okay, it's Tyler. She had another one of her fainting spells. Take her to the tent, you know. So a lot of times I spent that time in the tent where the fans and some cool mist was. But every year I fainted. I didn't find out that the fainting spells that I was having were seizures until I was an adult and living on my own. Um, I lived in a townhome where there was a double level. Some mornings I would wake up and I would be at the bottom of the stairs. Some mornings I would wake up and I would um, have blood or cuts, or um, I would wake up and not understand anything of what was going on. I had a little small pet turtle. He he got to the point where he was even alerting me or letting me know that something was happening to me. My turtle would climb to the top of his tank and like hiss at me, and I would be coming out of a seizure. So that's all I would see was him going crazy. And I'm like, I'll take a picture of him, and like Ed's, acting up again. But um, it got to the point where I was hurting myself. All 8 of my fingers have been broken. I've had 6 head concussions from maybe hitting my head on a counter or falling on a concrete floor, or um, falling down a set of stairs and not being aware of it. Um, Other people witnessing some of the seizures that I've had have seen me, constantly bang my hand up against something. And when I become conscious again, my fingers sitting in a completely different direction that they shouldn't be able to do.
Wow. Let me stop this. Wow. Wow. Every time I see that, I watch that, and I get very emotional because you are someone that I really care about, and just to see what you're going through, it hurts my heart. And so watching the videos and watching yourself, how does that make you feel? How do you feel about that once you see yourself?
It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. There's some times where I may have been in a weird or awkward position that may be a little funny, but that's after years and decades of seeing these kind of things. But it's very very hard to watch. Watching that video, I get emotional at times, even just seeing my turtle and realizing what he was doing when he was doing those things for me. I get emotional. Just remembering a lot of times when I had no idea of what was going on, and then to realize later that, okay, you were completely unconscious and something was out of whack with your brain at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. It's really hard to watch.
Wow. Are there any um, episodes that you have that people have told you about that you don't remember at all?
Most of them, yeah.
You don't remember.
um yeah, the majority of them happen in my sleep, so I'm asleep when that happens. But when I'm awake, I can feel them coming. But once they're there, I'm completely unconscious. I have a split second to react to what's about to happen, as far as getting
Mhm.
myself in a safe position or trying to alert somebody that's around me. But if I don't make something happen in that short amount of time, well, whether I do or not, I'm going into a full on seizure.
Mm. Wow. Have you, let me see, I don't want to say have you. What differences have you noticed in your ability to do certain things over the years as a result of your seizures?
Well, there are a lot of things that I want to say subconsciously do that I do without thinking. Like, I got to a point where I don't hold smaller kids. I don't pick
Mm.
them up, because I can't. I don't want to have to explain to their parents why I dropped their kid. So I don't pick up smaller kids. If I'm at home, I don't lock bathroom doors when I go into the restroom, so it's easy for someone to get in there if they need to come in behind me because I've fallen or
Mhm.
something. Um, in my own kitchen, I usually pad the floor because I spend a lot of time cooking. So I usually pad the floor just in case I fall. If I'm gonna hit my head on something, I make sure that sharp corners are covered. Just a lot of small things that I do as precautions. Because if
Mm.
I'm gonna go down or fall, I'm gonna fall. There's no way of stopping it.
Right. And you said you kind of can tell when you're having or when you're about to have one. Do you have what are the feelings that you get? What are the sensations that you get?
Well, the best way for me to explain it, and a lot of I noticed that a lot of doctors, when I explain it to them like that, they pause and they're kind of like caught in shock. But the best way for me to explain it is like if I feel my body right here, then it literally feels like my soul is flushing down really fast out of my body, and
Mm.
that amount of time is the amount of time that I have to react. The time that that flushing is happening.
Wow. That's that's interesting. And I remember one time you said to me that it felt like you were what did you say, going a different direction or not going your brain was going the opposite direction or something like that?
Right. Well, I think maybe that was me explaining, um, maybe what I've seen in the videos is like once I go into a full on seizure, because we started making the videos so we can show the doctors what was happening. But once
Mhm.
I started to see what my body was actually doing, there were some times where I was still trying to get up and do what I was doing before the seizure started. So it's like
Mm.
my body is stuck and moving like that, but it's like something pulling or a different force that's trying to get it to keep going and do what I was already in motion to do.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. I can totally understand what you're saying there. Um, so right now, today, I know you said you're doing well, you're on the medications, and everything is going well. Um, what would you say is the biggest um, the biggest thing that hinders you from having a normal life? Because I know you can't really have a normal life knowing that it's possible that you could have a seizure at any time. And sometimes even medications are not always 100%, you know, accurate and keeping you from having the sensations and the actual, seizure itself. So what
Yeah.
are the biggest things that you feel are hindrances to you having a normal life?
Well, I'm I'm kind of a person that really like my mom called me her wild child. Like if I have a thought to just get up and go, I'm gonna get up and go. But it's not so much that I can just get up and go the way I want to anymore because I have to pause. I can't drive myself around or anything like that. Somebody has to know where I am at all times. It's I'm grown and I'm free, but I literally do have to have someone, keep on a watch over me at all times. And
Right.
sometimes it gets a little trying. I feel like, I'm an adult that's being baby fed or something like that.
Mhm. Mhm. And how does that make you feel? That
Well,
you know.
it can get annoying. I know a lot of times in particular, like when we're filming or we're on set, I have personally been trained to do my own stunts. And for a lot of the crew at times they'll be like, well, no, okay, you're gonna hurt yourself and this that, and I was like, okay, well, when I have the seizures, I'm falling and hitting my head, so when I fall and hit my head on set, I'm trained to do it.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's okay either
Wow.
way. I've been through it. But I'm physically I'm stronger than most men according to my doctor. So I'm not frail or fragile or anything like that. After I've had a seizure, it may take me a day or two to recover fully, but other than that, physically I'm strong.
Great. That is awesome. That's awesome. What, if any, fears do you have for um, your future? And before I go to that question, um, are seizures, does that run in the family? Is that something that is hereditary, or how do they come about? Do you know that anything
Um,
about that?
every doctor that I've had, that's one of the first questions that they ask me, is it hereditary? Is it something that runs in the family? But on both sides of my family, it is not.
Mm, that's interesting. That's interesting. And it's interesting when you don't know where something is coming from or why,
Mhm.
and that can be a issue in itself. It's like, why do I have this? Where does it
Right.
come from? Where did it come from? Like I have an issue with vertigo. I have
Mm,
very severe vertigo, and I have no idea. No one in my family has ever had vertigo, but I have it
mm,
very, very severely, and I have to monitor,
mhm,
how I do things. I cannot sleep on my right side. I can only sleep flat on my back or on my left. I have to
mm.
sleep with the pillow propped up. So, it's like certain things that we encounter in our lives that we have to make adjustments. So, the question I was asking you before was, what was the question? I forgot what the question was now because I got off into something else. But what do you see in your future as far as the seizures? Do you see that it's going to be a problem in your future with your life and your lifestyle?
Well, right now, and actually starting Monday, I start another round of testing, and there's a lot of things and a lot of there are a lot of different things a lot of different procedures and tests that have to be taken. I've
Mm,
been through these tests in a few other states, and with no results that helped. So I'm just being hopeful of
mhm,
this next round of testing and everything, and I've never seen it as something that held me back, so I won't start today.
Okay. That's a good thing. That's a wonderful thing. So what can you now it's difficult because there's not a whole lot of people out here that have grand mal seizures. Like you can't say um what type of advice would you give to people that are having because there's not a lot of people out there that are going through that.
Yeah.
But what can you what can you say to someone that might be experiencing possible symptoms that you experienced that you didn't realize were symptoms when you first started, when you first got the seizures, when you were 15, 14 years old? What can you offer to someone that might be experiencing some of those things, those passing outs and things that you were going through? What can you say to someone like that?
Well, what I would say to anybody is once something out of the ordinary starts happening to you, and once you realize that there's something out of the ordinary happening, seek help. It's okay to seek help. Is you don't have to be, the tough person and I can handle this all the time. If you don't know what it is, then you can't handle it. So
Hmm.
once there's something out of the ordinary going on with your body or anything, then just seek help and find the answers that you need to know what's going on.
Hmm. Which is something that you didn't really do because you didn't know that that was what was going on. So you didn't really
Absolutely.
know to seek help.
Right. And when I did initially, I was put on a lot of different medications, and all of the medications, I was still having seizures. And at one point, I got really, really frustrated because the doctors didn't know where my seizures were coming from and what was causing them. So I got in a mind frame and in the mindset of, if you don't know what's causing this, then what are you giving me, and what is it fixing? Because
Hmm.
I'm still having these seizures. But I went for years without taking any medication at all. But like I said, I was hurting myself physically
Hmm.
and really, literally hurting the people around me. It was really, really hard to see the effect that it had on the people around me after them seeing me go through those things. So that was one of the reasons why I started going back to the doctors and started to, seek help.
Yes, definitely. At any point, was there any point that you felt like the medications that you were taking could possibly have been contributing to you because you were still having the seizures? Did you think that they may have been contributing to you still having the seizures or
Well,
not?
not necessarily. I don't think that they were still contributing to the seizures that I were having, because they got down to a point where they were like clockwork, where you can almost put them on a schedule. I was having one or two every 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like almost you can, know when
Um,
they're coming. So I
mhm.
wouldn't say that the other medication was doing that, but I was getting really, really, really bad side effects from a lot
Mm,
of them. And
okay.
if I was having to deal with the side effects, I was like, this is just adding more from still having seizures. So I just didn't want to deal with it at all.
Right. Do you find that there's anything that in your life, say life situations that exacerbates the symptoms or the seizures that you might have?
Not that I know of, to be
Okay.
honest. I've tried to think of certain things like stress or
Stress, you're
past
right.
experiences or things like that, but there are times when I have these seizures and you can't say that I'm anything but happy or excited or
Okay.
thrilled. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't I wouldn't blame it on any one thing or the other.
right. Now, I had a client. I had a home, independent living home, and I had a client. I'll never forget him, and he had grand mal seizures. It was very, very scary. And he told me that every time he had a seizure, that it felt like he lost a part of his brain, a part of his ability to think, to remember. Do you feel that that happened to you?
Most definitely, memory is one of the biggest things that's affected by my seizures is mostly my short term memory. So it may
Mm,
be something maybe within the last week to maybe couple of months that maybe it's just like it's just wiped away when the seizure happens. I can forget a person that I just met, an entire experience that I just had, and it's gone. I never had it.
wow. That's amazing. Well, you know what? I want to say that I commend you for being the strong woman that you are, because from what I can see, and I haven't even known you that long, but I have still adopted you as my baby. But from what I can see, you are a very strong woman, very strong willed and determined to not let this um, get the best of you, and you have a great support system, and that's a very important thing, is to have a great support system. So I want to commend you for being strong, and thanking. I want to thank those that are there helping you and supporting you, and yeah. So is there anything that you want to say that to tell the people about your situation and what you're dealing with, and how people can possibly deal with strokes, and different family members, especially how they can deal with someone that's living with strokes.
Well, normal procedure, and most people don't know, but if a person around you is having a seizure, it's suggested that you lay them on their left side. It's not so they can't swallow their tongue or anything like that, but it's so fluids can flow out of the mouth and they can't choke on them or anything like that.
Mm,
And put something soft under their head. A lot of people from old days would say put a wooden spoon in their mouth, but a person at times, some people do and some people don't, chew and grind. I've chewed and swallowed pieces of my tongue. So
mm.
don't put anything in their mouth. It's just best to lay them on their side. And some of my videos that have been posted in the comments, a lot of people are like, you're supposed to lay her on her side and you're supposed to do this. Well, when a person is having a seizure, their whole body is convulsing, meaning all of their muscles are tightening up. So you can lay them on their side, but if they swing at you and hit you in the face and they roll back over, then it's kind of hard to keep them in that position. So
Right.
people can judge from what they see, but if you're not there in the best thing
Oh,
to not do is panic.
mm-hmm.
So there is a time frame to where you should be concerned about how long a person is having a seizure, and a lot of people say 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, call the paramedics. But I would say if a person is getting to about 3 minutes and they're still seizing, then you want to call the paramedics, especially if you don't know what's going on and don't know what to do.
That was another question that I wanted to ask. What is the normal time limit of, I mean, time frame of having a seizure? 3 minutes seems like a long time.
It's a very long time, especially for somebody to not have any control of what's going on. You don't know if they're getting oxygen or anything like that. I noticed in a lot of my videos, it sounds like I'm gargling, like I'm
Yes.
really, really struggling to breathe, and there's fluids going back and forth, in and out of my mouth at times. So it's hard. It's hard to, if you don't know, then call for help.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I could wait 3 minutes. I'd be ready. The first 30 seconds, I'm gonna be calling for help. 3 minutes is a long time. When I'm telling you, that's a long time.
It
And
really
like you
is.
said, you don't know what could happen within that time. I would think a minute is long enough. I would think,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's great information. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on tonight, especially last minute, because like I said, my other guest, she got ill, and like I said, everyone keep her in your prayers. Terry Jean, keep her in your prayers. But thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story, and we look forward to hearing more and seeing more. I want to share just a little bit more of the video real quick, and just a little bit real quick. There we go. Okay, that's enough. I can't. I can't. I know that right there at that moment, you were going into a full on seizure. When you
Mm.
sat up, you were actually into the seizure before you even sat up. You were actually into it. And it was just gradual, but it was there. And wow, that I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I just noticed when we made this particular video that you saw how I kind of looked behind my shoulder. I noticed in another video my body did the exact same thing. And
Mm,
it almost looks like I'm looking for something behind me before I go into a seizure. So that's something that I never saw me do more than once, but I noticed that when we finished with the video that it it may have happened more than once on another time when we didn't get to record it, but is I'm like, what was I looking at back there, or
mm.
what was I where was I going? So
Right, right,
it's
right.
it's
That's
really interesting.
wow. That's whew. Well, you know what? Thank you again. And we're going to continue to keep you in prayer and your family, and that God will just like remove that from you. Like I pray He will remove that vertigo from me and just
Hmm.
put it on the devil. Give it to Satan. Satan, if he go into a full on vertigo spin, he could he couldn't do nothing to nobody no more.
Right,
But yeah, just let the devil have a few seizures and stuff. Give it to him. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So we're gonna
I,
keep you in prayer and yeah, just and pray that you know I know that the struggle has been difficult getting the medication sometimes and getting the doctors to give it to prescribe it because sometimes it's difficult. So we're gonna pray that everything will continue to flow, and that there won't be any lapse in medication so that you don't have to go through those seizures again. And if
right.
for some reason you do happen to have one on the medication, then that's going to be a whole another investigation that we got to figure out.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so we,
I've been grateful up to this point, so I'm just gonna
yes,
stay hopeful.
yes, yes, yes. We're going to stay hopeful and prayerful. Thank you so much again for taking this interview and for
Thank
being
you for
here.
having me.
Yes, yes. And we're going to continue to keep you in prayer. And yes, so and continue to share your story and let people know that you're not alone, that they're not alone, that there are people out here going through some of the same things. And if you need a support system, we're here to support you and
Most
hold your
definitely.
hand and get you through it. So thank you once again. And I'm going to let you go and have a great night. And I will talk to you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Right.
All
Thank
right.
you. I've been trying to get on here.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. God bless and have a good night.
You too.
I love you.
Love you too.
All right. Bye bye. Yes, yes, yes. That was Andrea Tyler. And I'm so glad that she was able to get on. Thank you so much, Earl Smith and Danye and whoever else is out there listening and watching. I see some Facebook users, but I don't have a name for them. But thank you so much for Mo McCoy and everyone else out there, for Ayana, everybody out there listening and watching. You know what? Keep her in prayer, and anyone else going through seizures. That is something that is a definite conversation for dummies because I have no clue, understanding, or anything. Although I've been around people that have had seizures for a good part of my life. My brother had a very good friend that he used to have grand mal seizures. And then, like I said, my client, but that still doesn't give me the knowledge. I don't know. And I get fearful. Like she said, don't panic. I'm one of those people that will panic. I leave the room and let somebody else deal with it because that's just not something that I'm equipped, to deal with. And so continue to keep her in prayer, keep all of us in prayer, and keep everyone dealing with similar situations and circumstances. Give it all to God and Thank you guys for listening, for tuning in. Appreciate you. This is Conversations for Dummies, and I do want to play another video. I got to play my sponsor. Got to show my sponsor.
Vegas. Where's the food? Right here at So Sinful Snacks and Treats. Make sure you get down to 4255 Dean Martin Drive, Suite G, and put your order in at So Sinful Snacks and Treats. Try out our new steam bowls or our delicious homestyle barbecue. Either way, you're going to love something at So Sinful Snacks and Treats. Now available on Uber Eats and DoorDash. Order today.
Lady D TV presents Open Casting Call. Coming to your city. Can you act? Are you a comedian? Can you dance? Do you think you have all the moves? Can you sing? Or can you do all of the above? If you're interested in seeing what's going on at Lady D TV and being a part of some great videos, give us a call, 619-301-4467.
Yes, Chris Brown. I love me some Chris Brown. Somebody get that dough, please. Somebody get that dough, please. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good.
That's good.
What's this you watching?
You know I'm watching my Chris Brown videos, baby. This is one I love right here. She's called Say You Love Me. You seen that one?
No, you always watching Chris Brown.
Well, you know I love. You know Grandma says love Chris. Now, you know everybody's supposed to love Chris Brown. You don't love Chris Brown?
I love Chris Brown. I really don't like him that much. He be doing too much.
What? Well, you have offended Grandma Sis. How could you say that?
Are you serious right now?
Oh, yes, you have offended Grandma Sis. You know what? I think you might need to leave, baby, because I'm watching my videos right here. You don't want to watch them with me, so you got to go. The door right
I'm sorry, y'all. Grandma sis be tripping. Grandma sis put her out. Oh my goodness. You know what? I wanted to invite you guys to stay tuned for Grandma Sis Loves Chris and Where in the World is Chris Brown? Coming to Lady D TV real soon. Let me just play a little clip from Where in the World is Chris Brown?
Where in the world is Chris Brown? Is he in Dubai? I'm going to Dubai. Friends. I'm going to find wherever he is. I'm coming, Chris. I'm coming. Grandma says she's on her way.
Coming to Lady D TV real soon. Grandma Sis Loves Chris and Where in the World is Chris Brown? I want to thank Andrea Tyler once again for coming on and sharing her story with us about seizures. That is a very serious situation, you guys. So keep her in prayer. Keep us all in prayer. And I want to play one more little clip real quick of the Mo McCoy Winter Jam. It was off the chain.
Fireproof TV Films and Las Vegas Boulevard present the Mo McCoy Winter Jam. Friday, December 10th. Live concert recording. Yes, this is going to be a movie. Sponsored by Altcoin River. GOTM. Starring the superhero Yana the Bean. First live performance. Hosted by Roz Washington. Big Baby Green. Music by DJ Commando. Tickets and sign up on Eventbrite. For more information, call 702-401-9927. The Mo McCoy Winter Jam 2021, Las Vegas.
Yes, the Mo McCoy Winter Jam was off the chain. Grandma Sis was there. I was there. and we had a great time. And he has an event coming up, and I'll have that information for you guys on the next Conversations for Dummies. And I also have the winter trailer from the movie on the next Conversations for Dummies. I didn't have a chance to pull it up tonight, so I'll have that for you guys next time. See you next week on Conversations for Dummies. This is Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, you guys. I will see you next Friday on Conversations for Dummies at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, tune in to Morning Motivation with Lady D. You know what? Let me play that video too while I'm up here. I might as well. Come on. Let's do it. Wake up, wake up, wake up. This is Lady D, that be me, with your morning motivation. Join me Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for your morning motivation with Lady D right here on KEPX Radio, the Soul Express, Fantissimo Music. Tune in, tell a friend, you don't want to miss it. I'll see you there.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. Wake up.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Tune in Monday through Friday on KEPX Radio, the Soul Express, for Morning Motivation with Lady D. I'm on there every Monday through Friday, and I'm also playing mainstream music, having a great time. Y'all want to hear some good old mainstream music? Join me. I'm playing everybody from Drake to Chris Brown to Beyonce to Megan the Stallion. Everybody is being played on KEPX Radio, so tune in and tell a friend. You guys, I'll see you next week, next Friday on Conversations for Dummies. Excuse me. And also join me on Sunday for Delightful Gospel with Lady D on KEPX Radio, Absolute Ministry. Got a lot going on, you guys. Y'all got to keep up with me. Lady D, that be me. You got to keep up. Okay? I'll see you next week on Conversations for Dummies. Have a great night.